Hello, today I'll be discussing Peter Singer's influential essay, Famine, Affluence, and Morality. So this essay was written in 1972 during the East Bengal crisis. In this essay, Singer argues that the way people in affluent countries respond to suffering like famine is morally unjustifiable, and that our conventional moral understanding about giving to charity needs a fundamental change. So, in this presentation, I would like to provide a brief overview and analysis of Singer's argument and pose some significant questions regarding the implications and the limitations of Peter's case for his charity principle. So first of all, let me begin with explaining Singer's argument. The Singer begins with an assumption most of us share, that suffering and death from lack of food, shelter, and medical care are bad. From this, he introduces a core principle. If it is in our power to prevent something very bad from happening without sacrificing anything of comparable moral importance, then we are morally obliged to do it. So to illustrate this principle, Singer presents an intuitive scenario in which one sees a child drowning in a pond. Most people agree that you ought to wade in and save the child, even if it means that you will get your clothes muddy. This seems fairly uncontroversial. However, Singer's argument then makes a crucial move. He argues that there is no moral difference between saving the child in the pond and helping someone suffering from famine thousands of miles away. He even explicitly states that factors like proximity or distance and the number of other people involved make no moral difference to our obligation. In other words, for Singer, not saving the drowning child is morally equivalent to not donating to famine relief charities. I would like to question this particular point of Singer's argument by presenting a different scenario, different but similar pond analogy, in which one makes a decision. So suppose two people are drowning in the pond, one of whom is your child, the other is a random stranger. Assume you are the only person who can wade in and help, but you can save only one person at the expense of not saving the other. You will probably save your child simply because you're a parent who loves your child so much. This is fairly uncontroversial. Now note that in this scenario, neither proximity nor distance is not factored in. It is factored in. Since both people are equally close to you, and also the number of others involved is not factored in, since you're the only person who can engage in the situation. Now, on what basis would you have made the choice to save your child at the cost of not saving the precious life of the stranger? Probably simply because you have more significant personal connections, specifically familial and emotional bonds with your child, compared with the stranger. So is saving your child morally equivalent to saving the stranger? I would say probably not. However, in this presentation, answering the question is beyond our scope, and I will not develop a full argument for the case. Instead, I'll be initiating discussion leading to an answer to the question by posing some important fundamental questions regarding Singer's case. So, as illustrated through the revised point analogy, Singer appears to overlook a potentially significant moral factor: the relationship or personal connection we have with those in need. While he argues that proximity and the number of potential helpers are morally irrelevant, he does not adequately address whether personal connections, such as familial, emotional, or even ethnic bonds, can justify giving different moral weight to different individuals. So the discussion question is: to what extent do personal relationships influence the moral obligations we have towards others? More specifically, is it morally justifiable to prioritize helping someone we are closely connected to, such as a family member or friend, over a stranger, even if the need is equally urgent? If so, does this challenge Singer's principle that we ought to help anyone in need when we can do so without sacrificing something of comparable moral importance? Thank you for listening to my presentation.